you can go buy real estate and start investing with zero credit, zero credentials, and even zero cash out of pocket. I use a strategy called subject to financing. It's very, very simple, and I don't want you to overthink it. But it's when you, as a buyer, take on the title, which is the ownership of the property. However, you leave the debt in the seller's name. So you continue making payments on behalf of the seller. However, you take on the title to the property, so you now become the owner. I want to talk to you about why this strategy is so beneficial and how it could help you go out there and start building your real estate portfolio. One, you don't need to get a lender involved, so that means no closing costs, there's no credit check, and ideally it's a faster process for you to go out there and acquire the real estate. Secondly, most of the time you don't even need to come in with a down payment because now you're just taking over the seller's balance, which is now going to allow you to add this into your portfolio. And ideally, if that mortgage is less than what you can rent it out for, which is the idea, now you can put a tenant in there that's going to pay down the debt. However, you now own an appreciating asset. 2, you're able to create cash flow on this. And 3, you're able to take the tax benefits of the deal. I'm gonna break down step by step what you need to do to go out there and lock up these deals. Step number 1 is first you need to go out there and find a motivated seller. Subject to deals are everywhere. Whatever market you're in, there is a subject to deal waiting for you. However, you need to take massive action when trying to find a motivated seller. Some of the ways to find perfect opportunities for subject to deals are 1, expired listings. Expired listings are people that were trying to sell a house on the market. However, their agent wasn't able to move the deal. Typically, agents try to sell a house anywhere between 6 months to a year, meaning they go under contract with a seller, they put their house on the market, however, it does not sell on the market, and after it doesn't sell, that listing will then have an expiration date. Now, an expired listing is basically a property that didn't sell on the market. Those are great opportunities for you to come in and pitch a subject to deal. Another strategy to go out there and find good subject to deals are foreclosure. You gotta remember, somebody that's in foreclosure has a problem. They weren't able to keep up with their payments for whatever reason. So this is your perfect opportunity to come in and take over their mortgage after catching up whatever they're behind. Quick tip. A subject to deal is probably somebody that has a problem. Somebody that is going to allow you to take over their payment subject to. There is something going on that they probably can't afford the house no more. I always get this when people ask me about this. Well, Chris, who would allow that? Understand that somebody right now in this moment is looking for someone like you to call them and help them. They need your help. So this is opportunity for you to not only come in and help somebody, but for you to come in and buy real estate that is going to allow you to start building your real estate portfolio. The next step is you want to start with negotiation. Now, when it comes to negotiation, if you're able to identify the person's problem by finding out the 4 pillars, timeline, motivation, condition of the property, and obviously the price meaning they just want to get out, the only way you're gonna get to that is by asking the right questions. You need to ask the right questions to get the answers that you need to be able to structure the deal. So now, with this being said, when you're negotiating and you're identifying the problem, well, if they want you to take over the property, you can come in, just take over the current mortgage subject to. All you have to do is negotiate the closing costs. And on top of that, if you're going to go through a title company, there's going to be some closing costs that you need to come up with at the table, to the closing table. But understand, if somebody can't pay their mortgage, more than likely they're going to need help with some closing costs. And the importance of having a title company is they're going to help you make sure that you have a clean title, that there's no other liens on the property, and that you are dealing with the actual owner and nobody else is involved in the transaction. So you get a clean title. However, on a side note, all you really need is a deed transfer. The deed transfer is something that you file with the local courthouse, showing that you are transferring the deed to your name, and that could potentially even cost only up to $17 to $25. However, full disclosure, this is not financial advice. The biggest thing here that I want you to understand is this is the strategy that I use to buy real estate. And I just want to show you the game that I'm playing, so that way you can go out there and, if you want, take whatever I'm learning and go apply it in your everyday life. Now, once you're able to find a motivated seller, identify and negotiate closing costs, all you got to do is now go to the closing table, open up title, get a title commitment, and close the deal. You should not overcomplicate it. It is very, very simple. The issue that you're probably having is taking the action and having the conversations. Once you start having the conversation is just identifying the seller's goal. Now, if the seller is trying to sell, you have to identify their goals, so that way you can identify if this is a great subject to deal. Some of the pros to subject to are little to no money out of pocket. You get sometimes an amazing interest rate. You don't need no credit to buy the deal. And you have the ability to scale your real estate portfolio a lot faster, and you get to help somebody out. Some of the cons to subject to, there is this thing called the due on sale clause. Sometimes lenders might enforce this, requiring the loan to be paid in full when the ownership transfers. However, this doesn't happen often, but this is something for you to be aware of it. What I do is I put all of my properties into a trust to minimize the note being called by the lender. However, you need to maintain trust with the seller, so in case this happens, you're able to have a conversation with them how to get out of the due on sale. This property right here, I purchased through subject to because the seller had a problem. This property specifically, she ran out of funds to fix up the property. Her partner walked out on her, and I was able to fix up the property, go in there, purchase the property subject to, and on the video, you can click and you can see exactly the phone call I had with the seller and how I was able to make a profit and buy this property via subject to. Now you see the power of subject to deals. I want you to understand that these deals are everywhere, and you can go out there and start doing deals exactly like this by you taking massive action and subscribing to the channel. In the next video, we'll dive in deeper into how to find these deals and qualify these sellers. So make sure you subscribe, like, and comment to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.